All right, this is a introduction to Koine Greek case endings, masculine case endings, because I'm going to try to keep it short. So, um, in the grand scheme of things here, we're going to be dealing with nouns, and when you conjugate nouns, meaning the different kinds of things that can influence which form of the noun you choose to use in a sentence, are listed right here. If I can, you have these are cases. Oops. These are cases, so you have the nominative case, genitive case, dative case, accusative case. This tells you how it relates to the verb or maybe some other words in the sentence like prepositions, some other things too, but those are the main two things. Then this right here is gender. You have masculine, feminine, and neuter. And you also have, every word can of course be singular or plural. This down here is a list of vocabulary that I'm going to go over in some sample sentences that I'm going to create. Hawios means son. I have the article there, so technically this says the son. Agape is he loves. It's loves in third person singular. I'm not going to be going over verbs, so it's already conjugated. Hatheos, which means God. Hadrakon means the dragon. Esti means he eats. Asarx means flesh or the flesh. Edoken means he gives. Tohidor means water or the water. All right, and then this other side over here is some actual sample pieces from the Bible. I referenced the verse, but I didn't write the whole verse just because it would take up too much space. Let me go ahead and get another little, erase some of this here. Okay, so for starters, we're going to say, all right, so you have four cases. The first one is nominative case, and typically it would be the subject of the sentence. The word I'm going to use here is awios. And it is also the dictionary form. So an example of this in the nominative, it could mean other things, but nominative is the main meaning of it. So if we had the sentence awios, agape, ton theon. Oops, that's two different words there, sorry. Theon. And this is hawios. So this is hawios, agape, ton theon. This means the son loves God. And here, the son is the subject of the verb loves, which is agape. And since it's the subject, it takes this form. So you could use other verbs, other masculine nouns. You could say ha anthropos agapiton theon, which is the man loves God. I'll just write ha anthropos. I won't write out the whole sentence. Should be, I think the accent goes here. Anthropos. And then agapiton theon. So ha anthropos agapiton theon, hawios agapiton theon. Hawios agapiton theon is the son loves God. Son as in a child, like a family relationship. Ha anthropos agapiton theon, the man loves God. So over here, the sample sentence was, I didn't put them in order. It's accusative. This is genitive. This is dative. So it's down here at the bottom. So this right here, hawios suzi, means your son lives. So hawios suzi, the son. Hawios su, which I didn't cover yet, it just means your. So your son, z, lives. So hawios is the subject of z. And to give some context, I can read the verse here in English. This is from John 4:50. In English, it says, Jesus replied, "You may go. Your son will live." Sorry, I mistranslated the form of the verb. Will live. The man took Jesus at his word and departed. So the part where he says, "Your son will live" is hawios suzi. All right. And then the plural form here, which I didn't make a sample sentence for the plural form. I'm not as good with plurals. But vi este ton panefsanton tus prophetas. And because I don't remember that word exactly, this is going to be, so you testify against yourselves that you are the descendants of those who murdered the prophets. And so here, descendants, what they translated as descendants is actually the word sons. You are the sons. So, panefsanton, that's the one I didn't know. Those who murdered the prophets. So, we is sons. Este is you are. It's plural. Ton panefsanton, of those who murdered. Tus prophetas, the prophets. So hui este. This is the part we wanted to focus on. Hui. It's nominative. In this case, it's actually the predicate nominative. So este, the subject is you. It's not written, but it's implied. You, the listener, este. And you are what? You are we. You are sons. So este we would mean you are sons. And in Greek, you can flip the word order in a lot of contexts. So vi este ton panefsanton tus prophetas. You are the sons of those who murder the prophets. Okay, so that was nominative. The second form that's you would typically learn is genitive. And actually, I don't need to do this. I have enough space right here, so I'll just continue it down below. So the genitive form of hawios is tu viu. Oops, this way. Viu. And I think it's that type accent. No, it's this type accent. So, tu viu. This is the genitive singular form of the word. Genitive can have many different meanings, many different nuances. Occasionally, there'll be a verb that might take its object in a genitive, or some kind of special use where the verb wants a genitive case word to come after it. That's going to be rare, though. There also will be a number of prepositions that will take the genitive case. Just when the preposition goes with that word, then that word is in the genitive case. And the most common, the easiest to comprehend, probably like kind of the base usage, probably the first one that someone would want to learn, is that it means possession. So sons with apostrophe s, or of the sons, of the son. And sorry. So yeah, so a sample sentence is hadrakon esti tin sarka tu viu. Just write that out real quick. Hadrakon esti Tin sarka. Tuyo. So here, tuyo is genitive singular. And this phrase, it sounds a little morbid, but I picked it because it uses some of the same vocabulary as in one of the sections that I chose from the Bible. So, hadrakon esti tinsarka tuviu. So, tinsarka tuviu is the flesh of the sun, and hadrakon is the dragon. Esti is he eats, which, yeah, I had these words down here. So, hadrakon, the dragon. Hadrakon esti, the dragon eats. Hadrakon esti tinsarka, the dragon eats the flesh. And hadrakon esti tinsarka tuviu, the dragon eats the flesh of the sun, or the dragon eats the sun's flesh, would be a kind of a more common way to say that in English. And part of the reason that I chose that is this is genitive. You'll see this is the same, tuviu, if you can read my handwriting. It's the same word. This says, ean mi faite din sarka tuviu tu anthropo. And this is, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man. That's why I chose that. So you can hardly tell the relationship between esti and faite because that verb changed form quite a bit, but that is actually the same verb. Hadrakon esti is the dragon eats. Ean mi faite is unless you eat. And then the ending is the same. Tin sarka tuviu, the flesh of the sun. Tin sarka tuviu tu anthropo, the flesh of the Son of Man. And once again, I'll read the the entire verse just for the sake of, in case someone was curious. This was John 6:53. Jesus said to them, I tell you the truth, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. And the plural form that I picked was right here. Accusative. Should be right here. Ton huion. So that is accusative plural. So hawios is nominative singular. It's like the dictionary form. Ton huion is genitive plural. And some of these words I'm not quite as familiar with, so let me read it in the English first to make sure that I get it correct. Luke 1:16. Many of the people of Israel will he bring back to the Lord their God. And so palus ton huion Israel, and that's actually what so they translated as many of the people of Israel, and it's actually many of the sons of Israel. Palus ton huion Israel. Epistrepsi, so that was he will bring back. Epikirian ton theon afton, to the Lord. It should be to the Lord our God, to the Lord their God. Afton, yeah, to the Lord their God. So the sons of Israel, Afton should be the sons. So Palus ton huion Israel, many of the sons of Israel. Epistrepsi, he will bring back. Epikirian, to the Lord. Ton theon Afton, of their God. To the Lord their God. To the Lord their God, not of their God. So yeah, that's Luke chapter 1 verse 16. And now let me make another box and go over the other two forms really quickly. Kind of erase that. All right, so that was nominative and genitive. The next one that is typically learned is the dative. And let me get our word back up here that we're focused on. Hahuios. Hahuios. And Yeah, so the sample sentence I have that I made up is Hatheos edoken tobio hidor. And write that out here. Hatheos edoken and tobio. That's our dative case. Tobio hidor. There is our dative singular. And what this means is Hatheos is God. They always put it looks like it says the God. They use articles a little different than what we do in English. So theos will, if it's referring to like a proper noun, like a specific person, as in God, like the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, like that God, it will always have the article with it. So we don't do that in English. So we say God, but they write the God. They write Hatheos. So God gives edoken, and then the dative case, again, it can have several different meanings and it can follow prepositions, but kind of the stock meaning is the easiest one to learn as a beginner especially is that it's the indirect object of the verb. So to huio is to the sun. So it tells you like to who or for who the action is being done. So hatheos edoken to huio. So the Father gives to the Son, and hidor means water. So this is the Father gives water to the Son. I guess that's how you'd feels more natural to say it that in that order in English, but that's what it means. The Father gives water to the Son. Hatheos edoken to huio hidor. And the sample sentences that I grabbed from the Bible are here's to huio from 1 John 5:11, hafti hizoi and to huio aftu estin. And this is, let's see, let me make sure that I get it correct. So 1 John 5:11, and this is the testimony, God has given us eternal life, and this life is in his Son. So it's the last part there. This life is in his Son. Hafti izoi would be this life, and tohuio haftu, and his Son, estin is. So this life is in his Son, hafti hizoi estin, and tohuio haftu. So his Son, aftu, tohuio, if we keep the in his Son, I should say that, and aftu in his. They didn't use that word order in the. I don't know that you can use that word order for this particular construction, but and tohuio in the Son, and tohuio aftu in his Son is estin, and then the thing that is was in the beginning here, hafti hizoi. So hafti hizoi and tohuio aftu estin. Now the plural form that I found as an example, and I better read this one in English first too. Hebrews 12:7. Endure hardship as discipline. God is treating you as sons. So os huios is as sons. Himin is you. Prasferete should be he is treating. He is, yeah, we'll just say treating. Hatheos then is the subject actually of the verb, and that's God. So if we were to switch the word order, you could say hatheos prasferete, and that's God is treating, and then hatheos prasferete hos huios, that would be God is treating as sons. Hatheos prasferete hos huios himin, God is treating as sons you, is the word order that I use there. As I think any of these word orders I'm giving right now would be appropriate in Greek. Obviously, most of them are not appropriate in English. There's really just one that you can use, but hatheos prosperite himin would be God is treating you. So this appears to be, I didn't look this up ahead of time, but based on what I see, prosperite actually appears to be taking its direct object as the dative case, but that's not normal. That would be an exception to the norm. The norm is that the dative case is the indirect object, as you saw clearly from the other example. Okay, so that's dative case. One more case to go, and that is the accusative case. So in the accusative case, the example I have here is theos. Oh no, wait. Yeah, still went with that. Hatheos. Agapi ton vion. Ton vion. And there's the accusative singular form. So hatheos, that was nominative, and that's the dictionary form. Ton vion, that's accusative, and accusative is used as the direct object. That's the primary use of it. That's the main one. So hatheos is the subject. It's God. Agapi is loves. Ton vion is the sun, or yeah, the sun. Say that. So, and my last one here, you see ton vion, and actually this is almost the same sentence from John 3:35. Hapatir agapa ton vion, and this is the Father loves the Son, just a different verb form, slightly different, but it's the same verb, and both are correct. John 3:35. The Father loves his Son and has placed everything in his hands. And the last one here, the accusative plural, huios. So, gegrapte gar hoti Avram dio huios eschen. And for it is written that Abraham had two sons. Should be, let's see if I was correct here. Galatians 4:22. For it is written that Abraham had two sons, one by the slave woman and the other by the free woman. So again, you can see here that this is the direct object. So, hoti Avram, dio huios esken. So esken is the verb, dio huios is the direct object. You could just say Avram esken huios, which would mean Abraham had sons. You could say Avram esken dio huios, means Abraham had two sons. You could say Avram esken tus huios would be Abraham had the sons, or just sons using the article there. So there you go. There's a brief introduction to case endings, cases for nouns in masculine nouns in Koine Greek.